Hey everybody. So what are we looking at today? Well, I've gotten rid of a bunch of my guns, like half a dozen or so. Although Cameron, don't forget, you got to come get that Charles Daly semi-automatic shotgun at some point. Hit me up next week. But there's one that I've had a couple times over the years, going back 20 years. And for some reason I always get rid of it, and I don't know why. And I regret it every damn time because it's, for what it is, it's a phenomenal weapon. It's cheap, $425 currently. It's really reliable and it's very useful. And it's one I think everybody should have in their collection. So what is it? What is it? What has it got in its pockets? It's a Keltec. And before you go, oh, Keltec. Keltec has had some really interesting and innovative designs over the years. They haven't always worked that well. Some of their bullpup designs, really cool and cutting edge in a lot of ways. Good price point for that, for a bullpup type weapon. And if you got one that ran, amazing. A lot of people didn't get ones that ran. Some of their pistols over the years. You know, it was mandatory when the P11 first came out. That was like before the SIG 365 and all this stuff. You know, people who didn't want a chunky, awkward, ergonomic package in a Glock 26, but wanted something small like that that was double stack, had 10+1 rounds. Were a lot of options 20-something years ago. So having a pistol that was affordable, you know. So Keltec had the P11, and it was a running, not joke, but practice with them that at that time you had to do the fluff and buff, F&B, meaning you bought the gun, you had to upgrade to the steel guide rod instead of the plastic one. You had to have, it's really distracting trying to do that when you got that in the background. Where was I? So what you've got is a pistol that on paper would hit all the marks, right? It would have everything you'd want. But then you had to polish the feed ramp, polish the guide rails, replace the guide rod with the steel one. You know, you'd have to do all this stuff, and you basically have to take what was an interesting design and you'd have to work out all the kinks. You would have to finish the quality control to get it reliable and shootable. Now, they've had some other guns that weren't like that, and they've had one that was amazing. And it's always been amazing. And it's been reliable because it's been very simple. It's been well made. There's not much to go wrong. It's a simple blowback design, and it just tends to work. And that is the Sub2000. Like, that's a weird name. What is a Sub2000? Dis is a Sub2000. What this is a PCC. It is a pistol caliber carbine. I don't know why that is a tongue twister to me, but I can't seem to spit it out. So you got your pistol caliber carbine. This is a rifle, 16-inch barrel. So you don't have to worry about, oh, do I have a brace? If the brace is, then I got to worry about that. I don't have to worry about if I want to put a forward grip on this or an AFG. I don't have to worry about, well, it has to be less than a certain length, and then you have to use an AFG. You can't use a forward pistol grip. This is a rifle. 16-inch barrel, folds up, and you can damn near fit it in a lunchbox. A big lunchbox, but certainly in a backpack. You just toss that in the backpack. These come in different variations. They don't take their own proprietary mags. This is why this is such an interesting thing. It's not just the pistol caliber. It's the fact of what it takes for a magazine. So they have Smith M&P, Beretta 92, SIG 226, and Glock 17 or 19. Now the 17 one, you tend to see these more often. Trying to find the Glock 19 versions is hard, especially when this time still coming back from COVID. Inventory is better, but not quite where it used to be. But even then, the 19 was always somewhat elusive. So we'll go through the benefits of this and why I like this and why I think everybody for the money should have this. So the benefit of it is for those of us who have a Glock 19. You say, what kind of Glock 19 is that? Well, this is a Shadow Systems MR920 Combat. It is an unloaded mag. I've already done the safety check prior. See? Wait, line it up right. Where's the damn? There we go. No bullets. No bullets. No pew-pews. But this is a really nice, beautifully machined, night sights, nice Cerakoted fluted barrel. It's got an upgraded trigger. It's a great gun. This is a fantastic flared magazine well. Already got the proper texture, straight without the fingers, finger grooves. I mean, this is a great, fantastic pistol. And so it's nice to have a rifle that you could carry and throw in a backpack if you're going camping, going hiking in bear country, whatever. Shit hits the fan, some kind of emergency situation, and you had to kind of take care of yourself for a short period of time. Being able to carry your preferred sidearm, which is what I would carry if I was, when I'm just carrying for, I'm just going around town or something, I got my GX4, which is a 11+1 round 9mm from Taurus, great little gun. Or I've got my Smith J-frame, if I'm really trying to, it's hot out and I just have shorts and a t-shirt and I want to go a little more incognito, I'll carry the Smith. But if I was going anywhere else where I was like, I want the full size, compact but full size grip, 15+1 rounds, more of a duty size weapon, I'm grabbing this or my SIG M17, one of those. I'm not going to grab a 1911. I'm not going to grab my high power. It's going to be this or the SIG. Where I favor this is because of this. Glock 19 mags. Same ammo, same magazine. I can have this in my backpack with a whole bunch of Glock 19 mags and I can use my handgun and swap mags. Or if I was in a situation where I needed the longer barrel, which gives me more accuracy, more velocity. So if I'm shooting, a 9mm out of a barrel this size, ball ammo, and it's going 1160, 1260 feet per second, out of a 16-inch barrel, it's probably gonna be more like 1450 or something like that. Someday I'll get through a fucking video without someone opening the goddamn door and letting somebody in, and now the dogs go. I want to just start punching dogs when this happens. It happens every goddamn time. In any case, I've got a 16-inch barrel, which gives me longer barrel for more velocity. It's going to give me extended sight radius for more accuracy. I'm firing it from a shouldering position, which is a stronger, more stable position. It's just you can reach out and touch something using the same rounds and the same ammo, the same magazine, which I just dropped on the floor. It also takes the longer magazines. Now, I do have to be a little careful here because YouTube has a thing about 30-round mags. Let me just grab this. So the 30-round mags, you can't show. If I do, I'll lose my monetization. Even though they're perfectly legal. You can have 40-round, 50-round, 100-round. They're perfectly legal. You can go to any store and buy them. You don't have to do background checks. They're magazines. It's a piece of plastic. But if that plastic magazine holds more than 30 rounds, I'll get in trouble. So I have 27 rounds. That's a 27, YouTube, so don't be a little bitch about it. So I got the 27 rounders. Because you can always put a longer mag in and stick out. The reason I wanted the Glock 19 is because my actual Glock 19 mags wouldn't fit. They wouldn't go up far enough to click in. So it does give you the shorter grip. And that's why some people like the 17. But I can get enough of a hand on there. And especially because you're not trying to control recoil with just a hand like a pistol. I'm shooting from here. I don't need that longer grip. I'd rather use the 19 mags for my Glock 19 carry gun and be able to put in Glock 17 mags or the 27s, or if I had the 33s, I mean, you could put whatever. If it's a Glock 9mm magazine, anything from a 19 larger. A 26 wouldn't work. And so, because it would have the same problem. If I bought the 17, then my 19s wouldn't work. The 19 is the starting point. They don't make a 26 because that would be a little nubbin. You wouldn't really have much of a handle there. But it's fairly basic. The front sight is torqued on, and you've got your elevation and your windage adjustments in the front. Uses a standard screwdriver right here. And then you've got the top where you can go in and just use your standard AR-15 sight tool. Just a standard peep in the back. You can replace these with aluminum ones or get different ones. And threaded barrel. So if you want to throw a suppressor on here, you go get a legal suppressor, go through the paperwork and all that stuff, and you want to throw a can on there, you can. You can have a can. So very, very cool design. They're very reliable. It uses a simple blowback system. There's no gas impingement system, nothing like that to clean out. It's literally, here's the bolt. It's in here. There's a fairly heavy bolt that absorbs the weight, or the weight absorbs the energy of that bolt being pushed back when it fires. You want to hold it back and lock it. You hold it and just twist it. This does reciprocate, so you do want to be careful that you don't have your hand up in there somewhere and have that smack you on the way there, but I've never had that problem. It's short, it's stubby, it seems to be out of the way, and that thing will reciprocate right here without any problems. I suppose if you tried to do something funny or you were holding it weird, you know, you could do that. I will say the only thing I've never found negative about these rifles, the accuracy is perfectly acceptable, the trigger is good enough. It's because the buffer tube here, that heavy weight and a blowback design, there's a shock that travels through this metal every time you fire. And when you get your cheek on there, and on the other side of your cheek is your jawbone and your teeth, after a while, your face will get a little tender. A company called M Carbo sells a little thing. It's almost like rubber neoprene with a plastic undershell that gives it structure that clamps onto here. So you have that little soft to rest your cheek, and it absorbs that bit of transfer of energy. That's the only thing that you really need on something like this. They do sell extended versions of these. What I also like is you can see how this has this hole, this hole, this hole. You can adjust this. Now, it's not a huge range of adjustment like you've got on an AR-15 where you can adjust it up to 5 inches or whatever it is. It's only 1.5 inches. But for someone like me that's 6'4" with long arms, I put it in the rearmost position, and that is nice and comfortable. I line up. I've got a great, great sight picture. It really is a very, very cool design. You got your safety right here. Crossbar safety, I guess is what that would be. So you just rack the slide or rack the bolt, and then boom, you're ready to go. When you want to put it away for use, or you're carrying it or transporting it, you do this. And what's nice is with this, at least for me, with this, be having it all the way in the back position, your front sight slides into a notch. That was one of the benefits of going to the Gen 2. They redid the front with the rail, so you got Picatinny rail on the top and bottom. The top doesn't work as well for a red dot. You need a very specific mount that's made for these that clamps onto the top, but obviously if I had a red dot here, it would go crunch and hit. So you could just have it like sitting like that in a pack, you know, whatever, but they have ones that it's a swivel mount. So you'd push a button and it would swivel over out of the way. So it would be sitting right here. And then when you fold it, it would still be sitting right there. So you do 2 movements. You'd unlock it and then you go click and rotate it into place. And when you put it away, you rotate it out of place and then fold it in half. So they have those, but you could put a forward pistol grip. That won't get in the way. I'm going to probably put just an AFG out there. But it's a really nice, it's not super light, but that's okay. The recoil is nothing. With a 9mm. It is a little heavier than you would think just by looking at it. You're like, well, that just looks like a tiny little thing, but it's got enough mass to it that it feels substantial. It doesn't feel flimsy. I mean, there's no wiggle or movement. It feels stout. It's a very nice, compact design, and I love the ability to just go boom and just fold it up and throw it under the seat of your car. Put it under the back seat of your truck, throw it in a backpack if you're going out hunting. Now, a 9mm is not going to be enough, you know, to take out in the woods and use against deadly game like a mountain lion. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, a 9mm, I guess you could kill something like that. But if you were, you know, you're not going to go hunting a boar with this. You're not going to be trying to shoot a bear. But if you needed a little more firepower than your pistol and you weren't carrying a normal center fire rifle, you just wanted this little PCC carbine that you could just throw in a backpack and go, and you got your other supplies and your lunch and stuff like that. I don't know any other gun that is this size, especially in this price range. I mean, you've got the SIG Rattlers and you've got some other guns like that, but then you're dealing with the whole damn issue with the ATF right now. And, you know, do you want to be the person that gets arrested because, you know, you have a pistol brace on there and it's now considered, well, I shouldn't say it's now considered an SBR. It always was an SBR. Let's just be honest about what pistols were. And that's going to piss some people off. Deal with it. It's the truth. Sometimes the truth isn't in our favor, and attacking me isn't going to change that. But you know, those braced pistols, we took AR-15s, which is Armalite rifle. It's a rifle caliber, and we just said, oh, we're going to shorten the barrel. Well, you took a rifle and you shortened the barrel. That makes it a short-barreled rifle. Oh, well, no, it's not a rifle because it doesn't have a stock on it. It has a brace. I'm like, oh, so you took a piece of plastic and you just, the plastic stock, you just put a piece of Velcro on it and now it's not a stock anymore? No, it's a brace. I'm like, yeah, but I still shoulder it like a stock because it's shaped like a stock. It adjusts like a stock. It's a stock with Velcro. So we've been playing word games with the ATF trying to get around the loophole, the NFA. And obviously that wasn't going to last forever. So, but all that aside, that's a bigger discussion for the FUDs out there that want to get all blustery and huff and puff about, the ATF. It's like SBR has been SBR since 1934. The ATF didn't change anything this year with their ruling. They changed it a couple years ago when they said, we're just going to ignore the SBR thing for now because you changed the names and put Velcro on it. And then they realized, well, that really didn't make any sense. And 5.5 million people went and bought basically unregistered SBRs and got around the NFA. And, the rest is history, as they say. The beauty of all that, and why I went down that rabbit hole, is doesn't fall under that. When it's folded in half and it's this small, it's inoperable. I mean, you're looking in the end of the cylinder. There's no way to fire this. I could put a magazine and a bullet in there, but there's no chamber. The bullet would go, that would just be sitting in the mag. There's nowhere to go. I have to physically open it up and lock it into place. And when I do that, it is a full 16-inch barrel, which meets the requirements of rifle. So I adjust it to my length of pull, and boom, I've got this nice little handy weapon that might give me an extra 15-20% power because it's coming out of a longer barrel, but it lets me use all my normal magazines, of which I've got dozens, for a Glock 19 or a Glock 17. They've also got the Glock 23, which is the medium-sized version of this, and then the Glock 22, I think, is the full size, the equivalent of the 17, but in 40 cal. So it comes in two calibers. I'll tell you the one thing I wish Keltec would do is make a 10 millimeter version of this. Now I realize they'd have to make it a little bit beefier, that they have to make a different, a fatter barrel, which means the frame and some of the parts might have to change slightly. But if you had a 10 millimeter and you were shooting hot 10 millimeter like Buffalo Bore or Underwood out of a 16-inch barrel, you'd be easily getting 1,000 foot-pounds of energy. You could go boar hunting with that. You could go hunting. People have shot bears and killed them with 10 millimeter, but shooting a 10 millimeter out of a rifle, you could very comfortably, I'm not saying go up to Alaska and take on a Kodiak. You're going to want a 45-70 or something lever action. You don't want a big boy gun for that. You got a bear the size of a horse. But, in this area, what do you got? White-tailed deer, maybe some mule deer. There's no real elk around here. You've got coyote, you got some wild boar, and a 300-pound pig will give you a good fight. 10 millimeter would make short work of that, especially out of a rifle. So I think everybody needs one of these. Talk about just a cool little weapon. The only thing is it doesn't have QD mounts. However, it is M-LOK compatible. Oh no, and this one isn't. I take that back. You can get an M-LOK forend. You can remove the plastic, and they've got an M-LOK forend that you can change and do different configuration and stuff. But with the Picatinny rail here, I'm sure I could find a pick rail QD mount or something like that would pop on there. And I'm sure somebody makes it. These are very popular little rifles. For the money, it's hard to go wrong. It's a simple blowback design. It's easy to take apart and clean. You really just take the end piece, push this in, pop that pin, and then the spring and the buffer and the bolt just slide out the back. Clean them up. Clean out your barrel, which is really easy when you can fold it in half, because now you're looking through that end of the barrel, so it's not getting in the way or nothing's getting stuck in the chamber. This is a really nice design. Keltec's had a lot of good designs. This is the one that actually works well. The execution was good. So I think everybody should check one of these out. I love the fact that I will at some point get a suppressor and I can just throw a can on that. And I get a threaded barrel for my pistol and throw the same can on there. Like, that would be a really nice home defense weapon. That would be a really nice out on the trail, out camping in the woods, shit hits the fan and you got your, you know, you don't want to walk around with a giant rifle necessarily, but you got your backpack, you got your pistol on your side, you got some spare mags. If a fight comes looking for you, you'd be ready. If you had to hunker down somewhere and extend your range in a defensive or offensive manner, being able to pop that out of the backpack, slap your mag out of your pistol right into this and keep rocking. I think there's a definite place for this. And it's just fun to go to the range and shoot. You have a rifle that uses the same mags, you bring the same round as your pistol, so you're not lugging different kinds of ammo, and you're shooting 9mm, which is one of the cheaper ammos to buy right now. If you're out shooting 30-30 or 308 or, you know, centerfire rounds, or even 44 mags or those things, you're paying $1 a bullet, you know, as opposed to $3 a bullet or whatever the current going rate is on, you know, 9mm ball ammo. So anyway, that is the Keltec Sub2000. I know it's been around forever. It's not necessarily a revelation to people, but I'm surprised at the number of people that I talk to that are like, the what? Like, it's like they've never heard of it. And this gun goes back, I think, to the early 2000s. The Gen 1, I mean, I bought one a long time ago. 2004, 5, 6, I don't know, somewhere in that range. I mean, someone's going to go, oh, it didn't come out till 7. Whatever. It was sometime 15, 20 years ago. Somewhere in that range for the subscribers that I have, some that are just amazingly pedantic about shit that just doesn't matter. And then they're wrong anyway, which is funny. But yeah, I like that. I like how it goes in and that sight is kind of protected. It kind of aligns everything so it doesn't want to go anywhere. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. It's awesome. Anyway, I got stuff to do. We'll see you later. Oh, fucking dogs again. Yeah, I wanted to say something that just went out of my head. As soon as I hear that shit, I'm just like, anyway, everybody have a good day. We'll talk to you later.